Hi, my name's David,
My name is Neil.
and we are not film critics. Today we'll be discussing the new hit Disney Plus TV show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, Neil, general thoughts of the show, just right off the bat?
Watching the trailer and everything, I did not know what to expect. I kind of set like a little high bar just because WandaVision was, I liked WandaVision, and WandaVision was that good for me personally. But I think the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is better. That's just my personal opinion. What about you?
Personally, like, there are some parts of Falcon and the Winter Soldier that were definitely done better than WandaVision, right? But I feel like WandaVision, as the other show, is more of a complete package than the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is, because there's a lot of parts in the Falcon and Winter Soldier that just like it's so close to being like an actual something good and like substantial and like saying it's like it could say something, but then every time it kind of just walks it back, and they're dealing with so many interesting concepts, but they don't feel like they commit enough to them, you know.
To them, as in what? Characters or the story?
Story and characters, both, honestly.
Why is that? What do you mean?
Okay, so let me give an example. Let's say like John Walker, right? So his whole subplot is, he's like crazy Captain America, right? Where he's slowly going insane, and his whole thing is that no matter what happened, like not no matter what happens, but like he's gonna slowly turn into a bad guy, even though at the beginning he was like an army guy. But they just never go all in on that. Like he fights with them like physically, like once the Falcon Winter Soldier fight John Walker, and after that he's like he helps them, and everything's like good now. Like sure, like the post credit scene was cool, but it would have been cooler if they did that in the middle of the story. So then he would be the real threat. Because honestly, the other villains, the group, I can't remember what they were called. I think they were called like the flag smashers. Flag smashers. They weren't as
Smash
compelling.
Flaggers, I think. Smash Flaggers. Oh yeah, Flag Smashers. Yeah, no, I understand why you say that because they do fight for a good cause. The Flag Smashers, was it, or Smasher Flaggers? Yeah, the Flag Smashers, they do fight for a good cause. So, in a way, they were just, I guess, the antagonist, but in all reality, they were, what they were doing was just trying to help themselves and help people like them, right? And yeah, I do I understand what you're going with John Walker, but you have to realize that was like, I think they wanted to put that in the end just so that they have like a future for others to look forward to, right? They didn't want to just throw him in there, and because it's not John Walker's movie, right? It's Bucky and the Falcon, right? So I guess I understand why they did that, but personally, I'm not mad at it. He was like playing a big role, as in like being like I guess the antagonist kind of, because he was stopping Bucky and the Falcon a lot of times. Him and what was his friend's name? His backup, Battlestar, I think.
Oh, you talking? I can't remember his name, honestly. He was such a forgettable character. He was there and he died for 30 seconds, Like, sorry, he was there for 30 seconds and then he died.
Yeah, but you know what I do like about it? I do like the chemistry that not Captain America, the Falcon, or now Captain America, the Falcon, and Winter Soldier had. It was I think I was very interesting. I think that's what I wanted to see in WandaVision. Having that chemistry, having that connection.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is definitely more of like a buddy cop style of like Marvel show rather than WandaVision, which was more kind of like a cool premise and an interesting set of characters. And this is just kind of, Falcon and Bucky's like wacky adventures. And I really like that, actually. I really liked most of the scenes where they're together. They have really good chemistry. They play off each other very well. And their characters, like, even though like oftentimes like they fight, they never feel like they're like they wouldn't like risk their lives for each other. They always feel like at the end of the day they're still going to be friends, and they never take it too far.
Yeah. That was I really like that. Because whenever they were together, right? Like I guess they would sneak in like a little bit of jokes and stuff, but it was never cheesy. It was never cheesy. The jokes were like subtle, and they were well made.
What do you think of the Falcon's character in the show?
The Falcon's character. I th- ah You see, I wouldn't say I really liked Falcon, but the writers wrote the show, for Falcon. I think that's how I would look at it. And he's obviously very significant, and he does he like in the end of the end of the show, he makes a very big impact. I like that the last I want to say it was like near the end. It was in the last episode, it was near the end when he had that speech with the was it the governor, I think? You remember that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I really like that speech. It was powerful.
Damn. I kind of have the opposite opinion over here. Yeah, his speech. Like I really like this. Like I definitely agree with you. The show was definitely made for Falcon, and Bucky was kind of just he definitely wasn't like a bad addition. I really liked him, just hanging around, but he didn't have that much of a character arc or that any much development. He was just kind of sitting around. I really liked how like they develop Sam. He's kind of gone from the quippy sidekick character to his own fully formed character with actually interesting motives. His final speech at the end, like I get what Marvel was trying to do there. They're trying to say something. They're trying to make a was I can't remember what it's called. Make a statement, right? About society and all the governments, and also speaking to political movements as well. But the thing is, he said so much, but he also said absolutely nothing. He said so much, but he said absolutely nothing. Like for half the time he was talking, he seemed to be basically word waffling, whatever thing he could. It wasn't. He didn't say anything. Marvel was trying to make him say something, and he just didn't say anything. He was just kind of waffling about governments and this and you've got to do better, and it didn't hit me. It just didn't impact me because they were trying to do something and it just failed because they didn't commit all the way. Because this is kind of his problem with the speech at the end. It's also kind of intertwined with the fact that Marvel's a huge corporation, and the fact that the villains, they were very they were explicitly political, right? And so when you kind of try to mix corporations and politics, it doesn't really work very well because when studios and franchise try to question the world, they can't question it too much because at the end of the day they have to still make sure that they can make money off of this show and it doesn't upset too many people. So if they said something actually meaningful and actually empowering and actually they actually made a statement, everyone wouldn't it would actually people wouldn't want to watch it because they're there's a bunch of idiots oh, I didn't sign up for politics on my superhero show. There'd be a bunch of idiots like that. So they have to keep it they have to basically keep it undercover, and that kind of weakens the overall message of the show.
Right. So you'd want them to be more political with it, or no?
Yeah. If you're trying, go all the way. Don't half-ass it. You're either trying to send a political message, and that's fine. I'm completely fine with that. Just to make sure here, but don't try to say, oh, some things are bad, but some things are good, and blah, blah, blah. Don't try to just word vomit and try to make your audience feel whatever they want to feel, because that last speech, no matter what your political alignments are, you can take out out of that speech whatever you want. You can pretty much if whatever wing of the spectrum you're on, you can pretty much take whatever you want. It's not really making a statement. It's just kind of trying to assure you. It's everything's fine, everything's good. You're fine. No need to change any of your beliefs here. And I feel like that made it weaker.
All right. Well, me, I have I guess a more opposite approach to it because, when I watch a show, I don't want any. I'm watching it to have an escape from reality. Right, I don't want it, reflecting what's happening right now. But I really like how they did it. It's political, but it's political because it's necessary for it to be political. It's part of the show. It wasn't, they didn't just, throw away a bunch of political things in the show. They had political stuff, but it was a part of the show. It was a part of the story. The government and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess they could have, if they did go all the way, they definitely would lose, some viewers because, people, they don't really like to mix politics with other things, sports, politics, entertainment, whatever. But yeah, I liked how they made it relevant for the show.
I think politics are an inherently important part of storytelling because, like, I know the word escapism. Like, some people just enjoy escapist entertainment, and if you want that, there is literally so much of that out there that you could never watch all in a single lifetime, right? And then that's kind of because if you want escapist entertainment, there's a ton of that, but but you shouldn't be complaining when people make more explicitly political works of art because then it kind of just seems like you don't want anything to remind you, like you don't want anything to disturb your kind of your bubble, because if that happens, then you have to question where you are and what you're doing and your beliefs and whatever. I think we should get to a bit of a lighter topic over here.
Yeah, steer away from here. Steer away from here. What do you think of? Okay, I guess you've already said what you thought of James Walker, but let me say one more thing. I really like how the character is manipulated with not by a person but by the suit, by the Captain America suit, right? Because he as soon as he got the suit, no, well, no, not as soon as he got it, but throughout the show, when he was wearing that suit, he had that ego in him. He had that ego that he is Captain America, right? That he can do whatever he wants. Because if you look back, I think it was I don't remember, third or fourth episode when he went to Germany, when they were looking for the flag smashers, and he was talking to a German person, and he was like, "Oh, you know who I am? I'm Captain America." But then the person just put him back in his place because you're not in America, you're in a foreign country right now. You gotta humble down a little bit.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah. What did you think of what is it? The costume for Falcon / Captain America.
I mean, it's a little goofy for me. It's just a little goofy. Just looking back at how Falcon's original costume, that was like super sick, leather jacket, and they had cool patterns. But this one, it was just, I think it was like striped blue and white stripes, right? And then with like stars in it. It didn't sit well with me. What about you?
Like Falcon's old costume, like his one that he wears from a series, it's pretty boring, honestly. Because I like when shows really like embrace the ridiculousness of the costume. When like Captain America, he's wearing basically a red, white, and blue like a tracksuit, and somehow he looks amazing. Because they go all in. And I think if you really commit to like making your superhero wear like good clothing, like not like their original colors, and you get good costume designers, I think any suit can look good on screen, right? I think the new suit, for most part, it was really cool. The only thing I kind of tiny nitpick, but like I feel like there was too much white around the head part. Like it was a bit distracting. But besides that, it was a really nice costume. I really liked how they could have done something where it was like also like black and red and white and blue, like mash those colors together. But instead, they went all in. They went, you know what? Let's make it red, white, and blue. And I thought that was really an interesting choice.
Well, yeah, for me, because like me personally, I like simple things. Art, simplicity. For me, simplicity is key. And so when I look at a suit, I feel like my eyes is overwhelmed. I have all these all these colors that I have to process, and like for me personally, like it's just I'm just not into it.
Yeah, I mean,
I do like the wings though. The wings are nice.
Yeah, obviously, wings are sick. No matter who they're on, wings are sick.
Yeah, the wings are so cool. The color, how it was designed, oh man, amazing. But I think the what was it, like his Falcon's robot? What do you remember the name?
Oh, what? Oh, shoot! What the hell is it called? It's like Wing something. Red Wing.
Yeah, Red Wing.
That his little
did
robot.
they redesign that or no? Because I don't remember.
I don't know. I think they might have just gotten rid of it, just taken it out of the suit. And I honestly, that's kind of like I wasn't a huge fan of like tiny little robot people on like suits because I like. So like it's not really like a huge choice. If they take it out, fine. If it comes back later, I'm still fine with it. I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, but in the comics, the Red Wing is like an actual falcon, right?
Oh yeah, he's it's an actual bird.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good concept. But I mean, obviously, you won't be able to do that on screen. You know, it's unrealistic.
Yeah, beyond just not being like realistic, which a lot of these movies and these things aren't realistic. I think it just looks silly because you either have to go with like, you know, to make like the bird. You either have to make it like kind of because I feel like it stand out too much. Either be unrecognizable, like it wouldn't have any personality, or it stand out way too much. And then it would be a distraction.
Yeah, you're right. There was one more character I want to talk about. I'm
Bucky
trying to
Barnes?
remember his name. No. Isaiah Bradley. Yeah, Isaiah Bradley. What do you think of his character?
Oh yeah. I thought he was actually a really good addition. I thought it was really good for them to actually talk about that and like give some more history to the super soldier serum because from like most of the movies so far it's kind of just been ooh look, it's a secret serum, it fixes all your problems, but in it shows that this version like like actual like the not exactly on the right side of not exactly totally moral ethics of the US military and what they were trying to do to people, just try to win a meaningless war. It was I thought like how he like kind of like not lectured but he like talked about experiences honestly, and it was a really interesting perspective on the world of the MCU, and I actually really liked it. The only part I was kind of iffy about was like the end where like he got redeemed and everything. Not he got redeemed, like but like he got like a plaque and everything. And I don't know if that fits it like is consistent with like his story, like him getting a whole like fairy tale ending where like hey he went through all this bad stuff but look he has a plaque now when he's still like ruined for life. You can never take those memories away. I feel like it was kind of it cheapened the ending. He should have been more of like a tragic character than to get like a kind of an out of left field ending where it doesn't really fix any of his problems, but now he has a statue. Congratulations, it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I like how he's like a devil's advocate to the Falcon. The Falcon listening to his story, right? Obviously it's tragic and it's for it's something for him to think about. He makes a really good point about like America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, how they have a very specific standard for Captain America. Blonde, white, blue eyes. He makes a good point about that. And it's definitely something to think about for the Falcon as a character because him being a black man, it's different, right? And I like that part, but the end, yeah, I guess the end was just I don't know how to feel about that because he did go through a lot of horrific stuff, and then all they do is just give him a recognition. But what does that really do, right? Nothing.
What did you think of the? Did we ever talk about the Flag Smashers? I can't remember.
We touched upon it a little bit.
So, what do you think of the Flag Smashers and their leader? I can't remember her name. It was like Carly. Was it Carly? Yeah, Carly Morgenthau. Okay. What'd you think?
As them as a group, okay, for obviously for what they were fighting for, that was they were fighting for something good, right? But when when Carly started to I guess criminalize themselves, when she started to do like bad stuff by herself, she basically went rogue and just planned everything herself, killing people and everything, which I think they made clear wasn't their initial intention, right? They didn't step in. I think if they step in, it would have been a more interesting relationship, right? Because they because Carly, she was like going all out fighting for her and her people to help others, right? And then the rest of the group, they were just they were there to help. They were fighting the same fight, but they were not fighting the same style. If that makes any sense. I wish they had just spoke up, because if they did, that's another conflict to add on. And internal conflict within a group is always something interesting because that could be their doom.
Personally, for me, well, I thought like, how do I put this? the group as a whole, like it wasn't. I don't know. I'm tired of the trope in like Marvel movies, and this may be in other movies as well, but I've seen it multiple times in Marvel movies where it's like a good person who's very good, but then they try to be too good, and the villains and the heroes have got to shut them down because they're not being all like they're not going by the book when they're trying to do good things, and I feel like it's a tired trope. I get the whole thing where you got to have villains in these shows, and that you can't have like the audience questioning the heroes too much, because if that happens, then some people, they might not want to watch the show anymore if the main characters aren't likable, But I feel like I'm just tired of the trope where it's like, oh wow, this person, like, they're doing good things, but then, oh no, they also want to kill people randomly for no reason when it's completely out of their character, Because I feel like Carly Morgenthau, like, I didn't mind her, like she was she was fine, but I feel like she would have been more compelling if she not only posed like a physical threat, but an ideological threat to Falcon and Winter Soldier, to make them actually think over, wait, am I doing this right? And thankfully, she did do that. By the end, Falcon changes his position. But they also, like, she had to die in order for that to happen, and she had to be defeated in order for that to happen. So once the good guys triumph over the bad guys, and the good guys just kind of just oh yeah, she was fine all along, it's fine, she just killed some, it doesn't feel as authentic. They did a similar thing in Black Panther with Killmonger,
Yeah.
but I feel like it worked better
Yeah.
then because
Worked perfectly.
because Killmonger, he was like his story was like, it made more sense for him to like really like to be that like invested, and to be to do anything at any cost. That made more sense. Well, in this show, Carly doesn't, her motivations don't really match up, and it feels out of character when she hires the Batroc, the guy with the legs. Yeah, it feels out of character. And when she says, "Oh, only the people I matter, like only the people close to me matter," that feels out of character. When for most movies she's trying to do good things, or when they blow up the hospital for no reason, it feels like whiplash. When really her character, if character was consistent, and of course she's got to be a bad guy, But I feel like if they tried to make it more natural, it would have worked better.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That worked for Killmonger because he started out like that, right? He started out being, he was his well, I don't want to say historically, but he's historically lethal person. Carly, she started off like, I don't want to say nice, but she started off a little soft, and then towards the end,
Yeah, she was a kid.
yeah, exactly. And then towards the end, she kind of just like popped off, if that makes any sense. And it was a little too fast. There wasn't much happening for it to happen, or because she all of a sudden she just starts killing people, right? But like nothing in between happens for me to understand why she starts doing that. They just give me the background. But because I look at her as like a soft, sweet person who's trying to do good things, right? Who's a little bit violent, but would never really get into the dark side. But she just randomly got into the dark side out of nowhere without any context. Yeah, see, it worked for Killmonger because that's how he is as a character. But Carly is more like a dynamic character, but not not done properly. Maybe if she had started off being like like a totally bad person, killing, I wouldn't be saying this, but she didn't. She started off, or their group started off nice and.
Another thing that probably would have helped is seeing her backstory in more detail. Because, like, for Killmonger, we got to see his backstory. We got to see, like, what happened to him. And you think, when you see those things happen, you think, I'd want revenge too, I feel angry as well. You don't feel those things when it comes to Carly. So when she acts out, it feels completely out of left field.
Exactly. Like, we were just, no, not we, but she was just thrown into the show without any backstory. Or very little backstory. What about Sharon Carter?
I mean, she was fine. Like, it was just like, like, I'm fine with Sharon Carter being and stuff, but it kind of feels awkward because, like, not that she's shoved in there, but it kind of feels weird that, like, all of a sudden she's the power broker, and all of a sudden she's gonna be an integral part of this like like I don't know, the power structure of the MCU, when so far she's kind of just been Captain America's sort of kind of girlfriend. It's really weird. It feels like a character switch when really there was really no setup there.
Right. It was like it was unexpected to see her being the power broker, but not in a good way though. Not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in
It
a
wasn't
good
like
way.
it wasn't like a surprise where it's like, oh wow, that recontextualized the whole show. It just felt like cheap shock value. Like, oh wow, look, she's the power broker. Aren't you guys scared?
Yeah, exactly. But the one character I really like that they brought back was Zemo. Yes, I really like Zemo. Civil War. Technically, Zemo was the antagonist. Technically, though he didn't really. Well, he did a lot, but he didn't really do much. In the like actually fighting. But I liked how they brought him back, and he kind of manipulated the show. It was at his pace, right? Because he controlled like all the like the planning, all the investigating. It was all through him. All the knowledge came from him. From Zemo. It was him who found out where the funeral was. It was him who found out where the what was that called? The serum in Madripoor, right? He was the one that brought them there. Yeah, and I liked how they utilized him because he could be, he's very intelligent and he could be a very powerful person just using his mind. And I think they had him break the fourth wall in that last episode. Did you see that?
No, I don't think I saw that.
It was like the last episode, and then they showed like the news and everything, and then it was they pan out, and then it was Zemo in like a cell, and then he looked towards the camera, like straight to the camera, and then smirked a little bit. Did you miss that? Or
No, I think I saw that. I don't think that's a fourth wall break though. I think it's just a character looking to the camera.
no, he like looked straight at the camera and literally smirked.
I know. I think I know what you mean, but like it might just be something to intimidate the audience. It might not be a fourth wall. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It might be a fourth wall. I don't know.
Oh, okay, I see. I understand. For me, how I looked at it, it was like he knew that it was gonna happen. He knew that this was gonna happen, and so he kind of like
Yeah, he had like a master plan all along.
yeah, like it was like one of those "I told you so" looks. That's how I looked at it. But yeah, you obviously you look at it differently. What do you think of Zemo?
Zemo, I think he should be used more. Like he's been compelling so far in the little bits he has had. With his story in Civil War, and then his more like he was expanded upon more in the show. I think he's a good villain. I think he should be expanded on more because I think the Avengers need more villains, which kind of like they need to push on each other's buttons, because a lot of like the Avengers villains like Ultron was like you just punch him. Loki was just like you punch it. Thanos was like obviously these I'm simplifying a lot here. You can probably go into a deep dive on all these villains, but I feel like Baron Zemo, because he's human, he has to rely on that, and that gives us more compelling scenes and compelling characterization for other characters, and the way he plays off of them is really good. Well, I think that's it for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Which one is it? I don't know.
It definitely has to be the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Special thanks to Nicholas Biancalin. Make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel at The End Note, or you could follow him on Instagram at endnote_music. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at not.film.critics and on Twitter at nonfilmcritics for exclusive content and news.
See ya.